Hey, all gravity. Any day above ground, live it. I hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. I just wanted to come on here really quick and talk to you about something that, excuse me, that I think is going to impact the upcoming 2024 presidential debate on the RNC side. And it's also going to affect the Democrats too, but a lot of people haven't heard about this unless you're in the financial sector. Shamika Gray, good morning. So, as you see on the screen, this is a thumbnail of yellow truck. Now, they're a trucking company. They were a trucking company because this past week they filed for bankruptcy. I have said on this channel that if the trucking business takes a major hit, we're in trouble because a lot of the freight that needs to move cross country, they have to do via trucks. Now, I know we've seen the Walmart trucks, we've seen the Amazon trucks and their Sprinter vans, we've seen, grocery store trucks, but Yellow Freight did a lot. They were multinational, they traversed, boy. Whew. But let's get into it because there's a lot of information we have to disseminate to the family. And this should also go into helping you make a decision for 2024. So we're going to start on CNN. Now, this came back out on August 1st. So it says 99-year-old trucking company Yellow shuts down, putting 30,000 out of work. Now, again, I stayed in the know with this, but I wanted to see how far it would go because, at times they like to save businesses on the last legs. But again, like I said, they filed for bankruptcy. So, yeah. Yellow Corp, the 99-year-old trucking company that was once a dominant player in its field, halted operations Sunday and will lay off all 30,000 of its workers. The unionized company has been in battle with the Teamsters Union, which represents about 22,000 drivers and dock workers at the company. Just a week ago, the union canceled a threatened strike that had been prompted by the company failing to contribute to its pension and health insurance plans. The union granted the company an extra month to make the required payments. By midweek last week, the company had stopped picking up freight from its customers and was making deliveries only of freight already in its system, according to both the union and Satish Jindal, a trucking industry consultant. While the union agreed not to go on strike against Yellow, could not reach an agreement on a new contract with the trucking company, according to a memo sent to local unions Thursday by the Teamsters Negotiating Committee. The union said early Monday that it had been notified of the shutdown. Quote, today's news is unfortunate but not surprising. Yellow has historically proven that it could not manage itself despite billions of dollars in worker concessions and hundreds of millions in bailout funding for the federal government. This is a sad day for workers and the American freight industry, said Teamsters President Sean O'Brien in a statement. Crazy, right? Okay. We got to start way back. Way back. Now, this was an article from the Post. It says pandemic loan to troubled trucking company had Trump White House backing, email show. Now, this was back in 2021. Documents depict a successful multi-pronged effort that resulted in a $700 million loan for Yellow Corp. A financially strapped trucking company received inside support from the Trump White House in 2020 while seeking a pot of Treasury Department pandemic relief aid meant to support businesses key to national security, according to emails released Wednesday by a Congressional Oversight Committee. Yellow Corp gave the Treasury Department a 30% stake as a condition for the $700 million loan, which came from funds that Congress designated for companies critical to national security. Critics of the loan, including Republicans, and Democrats charged with oversight over relief funds contend that the Pentagon and Treasury stretched the term to include Yellow, previously known as YRC, a Defense Department subcontractor with several competitors in the trucking market. All right, let's go. Let's get spicy. Congressional investigators on the Democratic-led Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Crisis, which released the emails, are now asking the National Archives and Records Administration to provide it with Trump White House communications, memos, and calendar entries regarding the loan to Yellow or its private equity backer, Apollo Global Management. And no, I'm not donating to the ADLs. No way. The emails released Wednesday showed exchanges in May and June 2020 among Mike Kelly, a senior executive of Yellow, the firm's lobbyists, White House staff, and officials at the Teamsters, the union that represents most Yellow workers. They depict a multi-pronged campaign by the company to win the aid, one that reached the highest levels of the House, Treasury Department, and Pentagon. On May 6, 2020, Erskine Wells, a lobbyist whose firm registered to represent Yellow in April 2020, copied Kelly on an email stating that the Trump White House official Tim Pataki had committed to call Treasury on our behalf. The email was also sent to Rohit Kumar and Todd Metcalf of PwC and former senior Republican and Democratic Senator aides, respectively, also registered to lobby for Yellow in April 2020. And I would add this to the live chat for those that are interested. This is them out here if lobby form. I tell you, these damn lobbyists, they gonna fuck us up because they don't listen. But do your thing. Do your thing. Just give me 1 second. In another email, Wells informed Kelly that he had shared key materials with an aide to Larry Kudlow, then the director of the National Economic Council at the White House. Wells also said in the email that he had spoken to or contacted several other offices at the White House and had debriefed Senate staff, which committed to then calling Deputy Treasury Secretary Justin Muzinich. Okay, we'll call him Muzinich to check in on YRC. So I'm also going to put this one in there because there's a lot of information that you want to go through, but I know y'all don't want to hear me read it. So y'all probably saying to yourself, like, how is this going to affect us? Well, according to them and what I've gleaned, Yellow Trucking Company, again, was one of the very big ones, along with Old Dominion. I forgot. There was one other one. I can't. It might have been Ryder, but you're probably saying to yourself, okay, what do they haul that's going to mess us up? Well, I'm here on their Wikipedia page. Now, you figure a trucking company with almost 100 years of history, it would be crazy. Now, they had an operating income last year of $197.8 million. Their revenue last year was $5.24 billion. Net income was only $21.8 million. So that's how much money they made for themselves. And they had about $2.3 billion in assets. but their total equity was negative $381.5 million. So from what I read, they were helping to transport food, building materials, a lot of shit. They were even involved at one time with crude oil transport. Now, that should be the big one. But again, you notice the White House ain't saying a word about this. They're really quiet. How does a company like this just go under and nobody from Biden's people came in and said, you know what, this is a problem? Amir Stanfield, good morning. I want y'all to start asking them kind of questions. Yellow Corporation applauds Biden administration trucking action plan. Now, this is part of Build Back Better. See? Along with a small group of supply chain leaders at the White House to support the Biden administration's trucking action plan. The plan highlights 3 strategic initiatives for the trucking industry to recruit and train new drivers, including taking steps to reduce barriers to drivers obtaining a commercial driver's license. The plan also better enables companies to conduct veteran-focused recruitment programs while accelerating the expansion of registered apprenticeship programs. So they were trying to bring people into the industry, but they knew that this company was in trouble. And they probably figured that it was going to be okay. Just add more jobs into it. Add more jobs. That doesn't help, family. I know I left this on there, but I want to make sure you guys understand the picture that you're seeing. If you see this all over the country, we're in trouble. That means no food. That means no clothing. That means no crude oil. That means no raw materials to create things like plastics. No cars being transported. Because again, can't fly a lot of this stuff, especially the crude oil. You can't fly it. And we know how moving on the water, how long it takes. So trucking is very, very essential. But again, y'all love to sit up here and cape for that man. I'm talking to the Shillocrats, especially. Y'all love to cape for that man. And then you see things like this and you're not asking questions. You're still worried about goddamn student loan debt.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
Again, family, I want y'all to see this. This happened way back end of July, early August. Did y'all hear anything from anybody about this? I don't even care if it's black media. I don't care if it's white media. Did you hear anything about this? Now, again, I said I was going to wait because, again, you know how they like to bail out businesses at the last minute. So that's why I hadn't said anything. I was just watching every 2 days, maybe something would have popped up. Nothing. They can't even find an adequate buyer for this. Now, Old Dominion, another big trucking company, they submitted a $1.5 billion bid for Yellow. That's got to be approval. You know, the FTC got to give their blessing. We'll see. If I know how this government operates, they're not going to let them do it. They're not going to let them do it. Because they make more money when the supply is low and the demand is high. So I'll quickly read like the first 4 paragraphs. Old Dominion, the second largest less than truckload company in the United States, has issued a $1.5 billion bid to purchase YRC Freight's 169 terminals. Following Yellow's bankruptcy filing on August 7th, the one-third largest LTL company in the U.S. has billions of dollars in assets up for grabs. Terminals, trucks, talent, yeah, a lot. Oh, and the contracts that they still have. The bid by Old Dominion exceeds that of rival Estes Express by $200 million. Yellow's management has reportedly accepted it as a stalking horse bid, which sets the floor for new bids. Other biddings may offer more money for Yellow's terminals ahead of the October 15th deadline, with the auction for Yellow's assets, which includes 169 terminals, more than 300 total facilities, 12,700 tractors, and 42,000 trailers, set for October 18th. I forgot about the talent, but can't say that in a website. Old Dominion's bid does not include the tractors and trailers, which would be sold off in separate deals. If Old Dominion's bid is accepted, it would increase its current number of its terminals from 256 to 425. Old Dominion will not have an immediate use for all these terminals, but would look to grow into the new terminal as the company grows, according to a statement from CFO Adam Satterfield. Quote, "We are always looking for opportunities. That's why we try to stay so far ahead of the growth curve," said Satterfield prior to making the bid. "We generally are looking at each service center in each region and projecting out 5 years of potential growth to know where we're going to have facilities that start hitting capacity. Sometimes an opportunity presents itself where today maybe we don't need this particular location, but in year 4, for example, if it's a good facility, then we will go ahead and take advantage of it." So they just want the real estate. Yellow's terminals offer extensive opportunities for rival trucking companies and Wall Street investors. Yellow had been in operation for nearly a century, and many of its terminals are in major metropolitan areas with ready access to markets. Industry analysis had noted that whoever buys Yellow's properties will gain a considerable amount of relatively cheap space to grow into, and the ability to deny access to those assets to competitors. Son of a bitch. Oh, we still out here playing games with people. All right, I guess it's the cost of doing business. I guess. Old Dominion looking at it, if they get that bid, he's gonna be looking at everybody, be like, yo,
fuck nuts.
be like, get out of here, bro. Ultimately, it'll be Wall Street that benefits the most from Yellow's dismantling, regardless of who acquires Yellow's assets. Old Dominion is backed by some of the largest private equity firms in the world. Nearly 10% of Old Dominion stock is owned by Vanguard Group, which has $7.7 trillion in managed assets. Listen to this. Another 7.75% of Old Dominion stock is owned by BlackRock, which has $8.5 trillion in managed assets. Significantly, BlackRock is the named fiduciary of the Teamsters Central States Pension Fund, which once collected contributions from Yellow. You bastards. BlackRock is going to be, oh my God. BlackRock. BlackRock is going to be I might have to do a stream on BlackRock to show y'all how ingrained BlackRock is in this economy. Even outside of this and the real estate market. Boy, if y'all knew what was BlackRock really owned, man, we'd be in trouble. People like, shit. You want to talk about some white supremacy, boy. Yeah, I want to talk about some white supremacy. Maybe I'll just do that now. Why wait, right? Yeah, let's just do it now. Let's just do it now. All right, family, strap it. Take notes. Because I know for a fact BlackRock got lobbyists down there in DC. So yeah. So popular startups, companies, and organizations by highest 30-day trend score. Now, again, this is their portfolio. This is in their portfolio. This is attributing to their trillions of dollars. So they have therapeutics. What does that say, family? So they're getting into the AI game. Genesis Therapeutics unifies AI and biotech to accelerate the discovery of new medicines. Abcuro, immunotherapies to treat autoimmunity and cancer. Taya builds tools for SMBs to unlock hassle-free payments, better business management, new and returning customers, all on fair terms over in London. And goes on and on. Let me see. There was another one. I wonder if they listed it here. Shit. Damn, I gotta pay for it. You motherfucker. There was a company I wanted y'all to see. Let me see. What was it called? Let me see. This is what I searched for the other day. Was it this one? Yes, I think it was this. I want y'all to look at this. Yes. We're gonna read this. This watch this. BlackRock Impact Opportunities Fund targets $1 billion to invest in communities of color across the U.S. We know what that means. First of its kind, multi-alternatives fund has raised more than $800 million to date to invest in companies and projects owned, led by, or serving Black, Latinx, and Native American communities. Initial investors include Anthem, Costco Wholesale, Johnson Controls, Lincoln Financial Group, PayPal, State Farm, and W.K. Kellogg Foundation, demonstrating broad-based institutional demand for differentiated investment opportunities in undercapitalized communities. So BlackRock, after reading this, I'll put this in the chat as well. After reading this, BlackRock is buying up all these properties around the country. They're trying to create, I got to be careful how I say this. They're trying to create those mini cities. That's what I'll say. They are creating all these mini cities. They have a very big hand in it. They just don't like that information to get out because we know what's going to happen. People are going to reject them. And then they have so much footholds everywhere, they start shutting down industries. But you know how that goes. We'll look up their biggest investments. So this was back in 2020. That is an ugly white man. He just looked like, you know what he looked like? He looked like the principal we used to have. Like he'd be so nice, but then you get him in the office, he'd just be cussing you. See? BlackRock, the largest money manager, is an increasingly influential player in Washington, D.C. BlackRock, the world's largest investment manager, has become an increasingly influential Wall Street player in Washington, D.C. The firms with the New York-based asset manager on their resumes now hold prominent roles in President Joe Biden's cabinet. What did I tell you, family? All right, I'm going to have to change the title of the show. Former BlackRock investment executive Brian Deese leads Biden's National Economic Council, effectively serving as his top advisor on economic matters. I'm going to find out if he's still there. Biden also tapped Adewale Wale Adeyemo, a former chief of staff of BlackRock chief executive and longtime Democrat Larry Fink, to serve as a top official at the Treasury Department. All right, let me show you what Brian Deese looks like. I'm going to show you what Brian Deese looks like. Here's y'all's Brian Deese. Why are they giving like these shitty pictures? They always give these white people like shitty pictures. Carl Lockhart, good morning. Why do they always give them these? Why do they always take these shitty pictures? There's an ugly white man. God, dog. And yes, he had to get the African because, diversity. He wants to be the most diverse administration in history. He just looked like he happy. He just looked like he is happy. Yep. He was born to Yoruba parents in Ibadan, Nigeria, and raised in Southern California. But okay. He served as the director of African American outreach for the John Kerry 2004 presidential campaign in California. Was based in the San Francisco office. And we saw how that worked out. But it is what it is. Enough about the Nigerian and the white man. Meanwhile, Michael Powell, BlackRock's former global chief investment strategist who had worked in the Obama administration before joining the firm, serves as chief economic advisor to Vice President Kamala Harris. But unlike Goldman Sachs, a household brand name synonymous with executives leaving finance to go shape public policy, BlackRock isn't as well known to people outside the investment industry. Here's a rundown of fast facts to know about the firm. BlackRock oversees $10 trillion, making it the largest money manager in the world as of December 2021. BlackRock manages a staggering $10 trillion of other people's money. That's more than the gross domestic product of every country in the world except the US and China. They could be a nation unto themselves. For its largesse, seven others, including BlackRock president Robert Capito and senior advisor Barbara Novick. It runs a massive technology platform that oversees at least $21.6 trillion in assets. In 1999, BlackRock started selling Aladdin, which analyzes and tracks investors' portfolios and can help professional money managers spot risk. Today is a juggernaut widely used in the money management industry and beyond. When the definitive descriptions of Aladdin and all its connections in February 2020 report in the Financial Times detailed its sheer scale. Vanguard and State Street Global Advisors, the largest fund managers after BlackRock, are users, and as are half of the top 10 insurers by assets, as well as Japan's $1.5 trillion government pension fund, the world's largest. Apple, Microsoft, and Google's parent firm, Apple, the three biggest U.S. public companies, all rely on the system to steward hundreds of billions of dollars in their corporate treasury investment profile. Fam, we in trouble if they ever go rogue. If they ever go rogue, we're in trouble. There you go. Fink has been vocal on matters of climate change, urging other companies' leaders to consider the associated risk. You're going to hear that next year. He's going to be coming outside. But his firm has been scrutinized for its record on supporting shareholder requests for climate-related disclosures. They want to know where you can put that money. Yeah, family. BlackRock is a problem. You stop it. Shamika Gray, you stop it. You stop it. It is Sunday. You stop it. You stop it. You behave. But yeah, we in trouble, family. Everything is politics. I've been saying this for years. Everything is politics. Brooklyn King 125. Good morning. Black Light Revelations. Good morning. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. Like I said, it's only 99 cents. I will start making exclusive content and you'll help me buy toys for the baby. BlackRock is a problem. I think I'm gonna have to go put out the I'm gonna have to put out the revelation signal. I'm gonna have to put out the revelation signal, and we're gonna have to really dive into BlackRock. I'm sure he's probably done it already, but yeah, we're gonna have, or I might have to do that. We might have to do it for the family. Because BlackRock is going to be a major player. Yeah, we're gonna have to put. I had to put out the signal. BlackRock is an issue. It's an issue. They out here buying politicians. They got hella lobbyists down in DC. Yes, thank you, Bunker TV, and good morning. Yes, that's another thing. Watch this come out in a couple weeks. Watch this come out in a couple weeks. That BlackRock has Vivek on the payroll. Watch. And it's gonna, man. All right, before I go, Vivek out here getting his whole car pulled, and I like it. I like it a lot. What y'all talking about, X-Men? What is this? What did X-Men do now? You just okay. Y'all just talking about X-Men. Whatever. Vivek, Vivek, like cake. Let me talk to you, sir. You. It's best you see. You're pulling a griff now. We here in New Black Media figured this out. Harvey figured this out last year. I started watching you in February, and I found shit. People are starting to find shit. You went to Teslin in the Breakfast Club. You thought you were eating over there, Negro. They ate you for breakfast because now they making you look crazy. Because she, along with myself, I said, watch after this interview, you're gonna get exposed, and now everybody's coming out on you. Now I get it. It's the price of doing business. I get that. But then when you get the celebrity class on your ass, yeah, you might have a problem. You might have a problem. Okay. See, when you have people like Charlie Cuck putting you over, we got to look at you. But we get it. He's a conservative, and he is a representation, according to what that person told me last week, of somebody that could stand in for Trump. Sure. I think he stands in for the quote unquote uneducated white male vote. Because now y'all are praising this man, talking about how he's going to deport children of undocumented immigrants under the 14th Amendment. Okay. That's great. What does that mean? How is that going to move us? That's great. We're going to have less people that'll grow up and fuck us over. Great. He don't believe what he says, and I'm gonna stand on that. And I said, y'all know what I'm about to say. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Vivek like cake.
You bring him here. Right here. Do you hear me? Right here.
What?
You heard what I said. Just do it.
Sir, you don't believe none of this you're saying. Again, you're imitating Trump. It's not always a bad thing, but sir, you're not original. You're not bringing anything new to the table except you're bringing trolls. But okay. We got a problem, family, when your own people are calling you out. People that are genetically aligned with you. And then we're going to get into the white man getting at you. Tabernacle, fair use.
You say you are anti-identity politics, anti-affirmative action in a party that hates the Soros name, yet you accepted a Paul and Daisy Soros scholarship at law school that was specifically set up for the children of immigrants. It was an affirmative action scholarship, and your defense for that is that you didn't have the money to pay for law school, even though you'd already made over $1 million at the time, and made another $2 million.
My defense of that is somebody gives you a merit scholarship at the age of 24, you take it. At the age of 24, somebody gives you a merit scholarship, you take it. I didn't say I didn't have the money. I said at a time when I had a lot less money than now, $50,000.
You said exactly I didn't have the money to make. You keep forgetting your quote. You said when I didn't have the money.
So Mehdi, I've made this really easy for everybody. And I did this in the early weeks of the campaign.
Yeah.
I released 20 years of tax returns.
Yes, you
Something that no presidential candidate, let alone somebody who's successful in business, has done. I challenged Democrats and Republicans alike, including the Biden family, to do it. And you know what? I released it so that you could look at them, so we can have an honest conversation.
I appreciate that.
The funny thing I've learned,
I do appreciate that. It's something Trump should learn from you.
Transparency is important.
So it's
already open and everybody can see it.
Exactly. We have 2009.
But the fact of the matter is, you know what I would advise every.
He pulled his whole card. He pulled his whole card.
2009 and 2010, you made $750,000. You had the money to pay for law school. You didn't need a Soros affirmative action scholarship that you now criticize.
I mean, none of this is worthy, but if you think it is, let's get to the detail. That was actually the first big piece of money.
You say you're anti-affirmative action. You took a scholarship for immigrants.
I'm anti-affirmative action.
So why'd you take a scholarship for the children of immigrants?
Which falsehood would you like me to address? The financial one or the one about my views?
Now it's a falsehood. Now it's a falsehood. Now he's saying he didn't take a scholarship meant for children of immigrants. Now he's gonna say he didn't do that. I want to hear this.
An affirmative action, because I can go in whichever order you'd like.
On
the financial piece of it, not at the time that I had applied for the scholarship that fall.
Yes, you did.
December.
Yes, you did.
Believe me,
I've got the tax returns in front of my face.
No, it's not awkward for you. Yes, on December 31st, when the application for the scholarship was that October. Mehdi, you're wasting your time on childish details in October of that year when I applied for that scholarship. And it was, well, guess what? The bonuses that a hedge fund pays, and it's a shame that, again, you don't have to be an expert on this, but if you're going to spout out, you better know something about it.
See what I mean? When he gets pressed, then he come outside and you really see who this man is. You hear him. Anytime he gets pressed on things that you discover about him, he gets upset. Sir, who cares? You put out your tax returns for 20 years. Is that supposed to be impressive? Sir, I could literally file a Freedom of Information Act and I could have got your tax returns easily. I might have to go to court, but I can get your tax returns. It's not that hard. Oh, Amir. Oh, that would have been beautiful, because then the trolls would have came outside and said that the black interviewer was being divisive. What did they say about Teslin? He was just being angry. Remember the line, that famous line that's going to come back and bite him in the ass? Well, sir, I read the book and I don't like what's on the page. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You didn't like what was on the page. Uh-huh. I feel you on that. Hey, Vivek, I wonder if you felt this, because this was actually funny as hell. This was actually funny as hell. I want y'all to look at this Twitter exchange. Now, this is, another one of these white folk who swear that they something. Here you go. This should tell you everything you need to know. Co-founder of Moms for Liberty. Okay. So this is the scumbag Chris Rufo. He says, time to abolish the Department of Education. So Moms for Liberty came outside and said, please explain how you would accomplish this. The American people are tired of empty promises and no results. There are federal laws in place that are not currently being followed. Okay. So here comes Vivek, like cake, saying, my speech next Wednesday in D.C. will directly address this, exactly how we will shut down the U.S. Department of Education based on existing legal authority. So you're going to shut down a government agency because you feel as though that they're not doing their job. That's fine. You can have those aspirations. Sir, you know damn well that's not going to happen. These people are so smart. They think they're so smart. But okay, we're going to help you, Vivek. As soon as I show you this, we're going to help you. Look at the white man that shows up here. Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He said, so you want us to be a deadbeat country that doesn't pay its bills or fulfill its contractual obligations committed to by the three-letter agencies you would close and instead spend that money on hiring 10,000 plus lawyers to handle the thousands of lawsuits that will end with billions in settlements. Maybe start a department of lawyers. Try to be so funny. As opposed to putting together a results-driven plan that defines where efficiencies and improvements can be implemented that result in our country being better educated and more energy efficient at a lower cost to taxpayers. Hey, Mark Cuban, every time black folk ask that, we never get it. Now you want to be Mr. White Man and talk about efficiencies and improvements. We ask y'all just to invest in the black community and be sincere about it. Just give us the cash and let us work. Y'all don't want to do that. But now you want to lobby for an agency that doesn't even teach correct black history. Okay, cool. We see what y'all priorities are. Unless, of course, you don't believe in any of this and you were just pandering like a politician. Lord, here we go. So they went back and forth. Yes, they did. So Vivek said, I won't hold it against you for not knowing the first thing about the U.S. Department of Education. Here's how it'll work. It'll take the $80 billion spent by a useless and toxic agency and put that money in the pockets of parents to send their kids to better schools. It's quite sensible, actually. So who oversees the schools? Who oversees the schools, sir? All right, you get rid of the Department of Education. Okay, great. You accomplished some. What oversees the schools? Because at that point, they're just going to be rogue institutions. They could teach whatever the fuck they want, and we just going to have more of the same problems. This is how I'm seeing it. I could be wrong. Okay. But I got a question now. According to the wiki, according to it, this is what they say. It says, due to courts and lawmakers' interpretation of the 10th Amendment, this means the federal government and Department of Education are not involved in determining curricula or educational standards or establishing schools or colleges. The Department of Defense Education Activity oversees schools located on American military bases, and the Department of Interior's Bureau of Indian Education supports tribally controlled schools. The quality of higher education institutions and their degrees are maintained through an informal private process known as accreditation, over which the Department of Education has no direct public jurisdictional control. The department identifies 4 key functions: establishing policies of federal financial aid for education, distributing as well as monitoring those funds, collecting data on American schools and disseminating research, focusing national attention on key educational issues, and prohibiting discrimination and ensuring equal access to education. We all know this is the reason why you want to get rid of it, sir. We know why you want to do this. You want to you said put money back in parents' pockets. That's great. You want to centralize the American education system like they do around the world. Now, y'all let me know, family. You got kids. Let me know. Do y'all want that? Let me know. I just want to know. Torian, hello. Let me know. Y'all want that? Oh, grandma, hello. I'm asking for a friend. You're going to have every kid in America able to go to the school of their choice, which is cool. I mean, that should be a right. But you're going to create chaos. You're essentially going to say that at that point, then you might as well make every public school private. Anyway, so Mark Cuban came back on him and said, I'll play along. $80 billion will fund your UBI for school-age parents program. Let's do the math on a per-child basis. There are about 75 million kids 17 and under and 25 million 0 to 5 years old. Do the parents of those kids under 5 get anything? I'll presume not. So your $80 billion is allocated across 50 million kids. That's $1,600 per kid, right? Per year, right? $800 per semester. How do you think that $1,600 gets spent? But wait, there's more. Let's say parents are efficient buyers in schools Let's say parents are efficient buyers and schools go along with letting any child in. Do you think the best public schools will accept any child for $1,600, possibly overflowing their schools, requiring more local and state tax money to expand? He also forgot about them putting them illegals. But okay. And I'm guessing your biggest donors will have something to say about who goes to their kid's school. My NIMBY DAR is strong on this one. So let's pretend that parents and schools figure out some equilibrium and there are schools that will add the children for $1,600. Who's going to pay to make those schools bigger? Do you think $1,600 per additional child will cover the capital and ongoing expenses bill? How happy do you think taxpayers with no kids will be about that? But wait, there is more. At first glance, giving $1,600 to parents may sound great, but the reality is not every parent can take their kids to school across town. So now you have kids can only go to the closest school with only $1,600 per year to contribute. But those same schools may have really needed the funds that the DOE offered them. That money is gone, and now they're getting just $1,600 per student. I think that covers what they lost. If not, what happens to the kids that go to those schools? Do your economic advisors believe that the long-term cost to American taxpayers for kids that go to underperforming schools increase or decrease state and federal deficits? Just for clarification, I think there is unlimited room for improvement in how we handle education in this country. I just think your approach is really dumb. P.S. I did all this in about 30 minutes while watching the end of the Ole Miss Tulane game. It's a great game. So somebody came in and said that's a disingenuous response. He wasn't suggesting that money would somehow replace all other education funding, most of which is local. His point, as I understand, is that the DOE wastes money on that $80 billion. If you want to look at the correlation, as the DOE has grown, U.S. education has gotten worse. Okay. See, y'all gotta watch for motherfuckers like this. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna say this before I go. I want y'all to look at this tweet. I really want y'all to look at this tweet. Again, I always say the white vote is gonna doom us all. This is the type of sentiment that goes around in this country that shows that they really want a dumb class of American citizen. As much as they try to say that education is so bad in this country, stupid. It's your job as a parent to make sure that your child gets the best education. And if the school district is not providing that, that's when you step up. This is why I don't respect them parents in Florida that keep trying to say that PragerU is awesome and it's just supplemental because they think that's teaching right history. It's really not. And that just goes to show me that either y'all did very little research or y'all just don't give a fuck about your kids. And you really think that these schools are just daycare centers for your kids. And that's sad that we as Black people actually value, with the limited resources we got, we value education more than the dominant society. The only education y'all are really into is education on how to fuck with us. Y'all are so worried about the Department of Education. How come us as Black folks and people that give a damn, how come we don't care about the Department of Education? Our children bring home their syllabus from school. We look at it and we're like, okay, we actually give a damn on what they're learning. We go in there. I know y'all like to say we don't show up at PTA meetings, but we go see that teacher. Especially nowadays, you can email teachers. Some of them hell will even give you their phone number. I know one teacher who set up something like TD has. You just type in like a 5-digit number and you can get access to like what the teacher is going to teach that week. That's when you know your teachers care, because there's a relationship between them and the parents. But again, there y'all go. There's white society in a nutshell. This is white society. They really don't give a fuck. They'd rather argue than come up with a solution together. But when we do it, we're being divisive. All right, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I will be divisive because at this point, I just want to see white society burn. Because if y'all not going to call out the bullshit in your thing, fine, let it burn. And then y'all can walk around going through the ash and everything. And we just going to be walking around clean. Because you know what? At that point, we've all embraced villainy. And I'm going to go now because I got to get to the plantation early. I'd like to thank y'all for coming in on this impromptu live. Yeah, like I said, I got to change the title, which I am doing right now. This was fun. I know it's not sexy to talk about, bankruptcies and, Vivek out here lying again. We need to know everything going into 2024 if you're going to go vote or disseminate information for the family. But tomorrow morning, I will have we will do the Monday live stream tomorrow. I think I'll do it about 12:30. I got something to do in the evening, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about the griff politician, and that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. I might, you know what? I might even do an open panel on that, and we just go over these griff politicians. So we're gonna do that. So be on the lookout for the live stream, and the all the thing will be pinned up at the top. We will do it a la live stream participation style. But like I said, I gotta go to the plantation. Y'all have fun out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Stay safe out there. And you know what to do when the agents of chaos try to mess up your day. You do this.